So if you're like me, you're always trying to find the perfect amplifier for your projects, and that amplifier could consist of a lot of different things. But for me, I want to have an aux input, I want to have Bluetooth, and I probably want to be able to make it portable and or stay in a physical location. I also have a lot of speakers, and really finding an amplifier that you can repurpose those old speakers is always a good thing to find as well. Well, that's where this Lepai LP40PA comes into play. Now, I'm not exactly sure what we got with this, so let's go ahead and open it up and see what we have. Alright guys, so let's show you everything that's in the box. Now you're going to see that I already opened this up, and it's because I wanted to know what was in there before I showed it to you. This is everything that comes in the box. It does come with a very small user manual. The user manual is really only about 1 page. It's pretty darn small, but it does include one, and there's some information in there that you may want to read. We're going to go over all that, so you don't have to worry about that pretty much. Alright guys, first thing that you're going to see that you get is an 18 volt 2 amp power supply. That's really only 36 watts. We'll talk a little bit more about that. And of course you get the other end of the power supply. You do get the plate amplifier. Now the plate amplifier is really cool. It's only a 2.75 by 1.75 amp cutout. So very, very small cutout. You can really put this in about any type of project that you want because of its size, which is really, really valuable. The other things that you're going to see on this particular board, which makes this a really cool amplifier, is that it includes a DC jack already on it. It includes your aux in already, includes your power jack, and even a speaker output. And why is that really neat? Well, the reason why is because typically you have to buy all these things separately. So with this included, it actually saves you a little bit of money and makes it a little bit nicer. You don't have to be cutting all the holes out for each and every one of these. You can just cut out one hole for this and then put it in your project. Now, you'll also notice on this side, it's got a couple terminals. It does have your right speaker connection right here. This is your left speaker connection, which is being soldered onto here. Now that's if you want to run this on like an old pair of speakers, for example. You can run this on something like your B652s, cut it in, put it in there, wire up one of the speakers, and then run another one to it. So this is really good if you want to turn your old speakers into something new, like a Bluetooth speaker. Now the other reason why this is really cool is this can be used on portable units, and if you take a look, this is just a JST terminal. So you can either just unplug this JST terminal and add a new one, or you can cut it, or you can even desolder it from here, and you can run both of these connections internally. So if this is a portable unit, you could run one to your right speaker, one to your left speaker, and you're done. Now it is a little interesting because if you were to do that, the right speaker is actually on the left side and the left speaker is actually on the right side, so those speaker wires are going to have to actually cross, and you know, that's a little annoying, but not anything that would stop you from buying this unit. You can see there's the Bluetooth 4.2 right there on the board, so there is an antenna right there. And then you see this connection right here, and this connection is for this. Now a lot of people ask, can I run this amplifier without this? And the answer is no, not really. Let me show you exactly what it is and tell you the reason why you probably can't run this without it. This plugs in, and then you put it anywhere on your speaker, on the front, on the top, on the back, wherever. It switches between the modes. It does volume down, volume up, play, pause, etc. Why can you probably not run it without this? Well, it's not because of the volume buttons, it's not because of the play and pause, but it's because of this button right here, the mode. When you plug this particular unit up, I'll go ahead and plug it up so that you can see this, it automatically switches to Bluetooth. Now that's great because most people are probably going to be using this to Bluetooth, and then you can automatically pair every time you turn it on. However, there is no way, and there you go, you see the Bluetooth going on. There's no way to switch this to auxiliary, your aux in, without this button. Now you may be thinking, well, what if I just plug in a source and start playing music? Will it then switch over? And the answer is no, it will not. I did try that. It does not switch over. So you need this to be able to switch this aux input. So if you're thinking about buying this without using this control board, think again, because that's probably not going to work out for you unless you're willing to only use Bluetooth. And if you are, then sure, I guess you could go without this. I wouldn't, but you could. Now let's talk a little bit more about this right here too, because there are some things I don't like about this. You notice when you press the mode button, it goes from blue, which is on Bluetooth, and to red, which is now on aux. Now that's really cool. So that way you know just by visually looking at it if you're on aux or Bluetooth, which can help you diagnose whether or not if you're not getting the right sound or something. The one thing I don't like about this is when you press the volume all the way up, there is no indication that the volume's all the way up. And most of the time on these units, if you press the volume up, you're going to eventually get to a beep where it'll go beep, and that indicates, hey, you're at the loudest volume, stop pressing the button, you idiot. This doesn't. So you can be pressing this button forever and not knowing necessarily without, the obvious of the volume's not getting any louder, without knowing that you've hit maximum volume. So one of the things I don't like about this. There's another thing that I was a little disappointed with. If you notice, this just says DC in right here. This doesn't say a voltage rating of X volts to X volts. Well, if you want to use this in a portable unit, you want to use 12 volts. Or maybe you want to get more power out of it and you want to use like a 20 or 24 volt. Well, this doesn't say the voltage range. Even in the little instruction manual, it only says 18 volt 2 amp, which is what it comes with. It doesn't say anything else. And of course that's a little problematic because in order to get 20 watts by 2 channels, you need to use something bigger than an 18 volt 2 amp, right? An 18 volt 2 amp is only 36 watts. And once you add in the efficiency of the amplifier, you're looking at closer to 10 to 15 watts probably. So I'm going to do a quick demonstration on whether or not this will work on 12 volts, because anyone that wants to use this in a portable system is going to want to know if this will work on a 12 volt power source. So what we're going to do is plug up this. This is a 12 volt 6 amp power supply. It's probably not actually 6 amps, but it is a 12 volt power supply. Let's go ahead and plug it in and see if we can power this on. Now, if we can, we know that we can use this with a 12 volt system. And it does work. That's really good because that saves you from buying a boost converter to boost the voltage from 12 volts up to your 18 volts. So we know we can at least use a 12 volt. I'm not going to be plugging up anything higher than 18 volts because I will blow a capacitor and or ruin the unit if I go too high. It is good to know though that you can do 12 volts because I think a lot of people are going to want to use this in a portable build. And that's really where I see this. I see this in one of two things. I see this either in a portable build or taking some old set of like bookshelf speakers and turning them into a portable unit. Now the great thing about, even if you take these and put them in like say the B652s, now that you know that they can run off 12 volts, you can easily, assuming you know how to, take the power, which is going right here to the board, and run a 12 volt power supply to that. So a 12 volt battery pack. So if you do a 12 volt battery pack there, now you can plug these into the B652s and make them completely portable and wireless, which is really, really cool. If you guys want me to do a video on how to do something like that, let me know and I'll see what I can come up with. But guys, I really like this Lepai unit. I have plugged this up with some alligator clips and a few other things to test it. The other thing is, if you look at the MK402 Bluetooth model, which I will be reviewing shortly, those actually have on them a modified version of this Lepai. Now it's a little upgraded. It does use banana plugs instead of these, spring terminals and a couple other things, but it does use the same power source, 18 volt 2 amp, and it works really, really well. So I do think that this is well worth the price that you pay, assuming you know what you're getting. I hope that you guys enjoyed this video, and if you want to support this channel, please make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the bell to make sure that you are notified of any new videos that come out. And feel free to visit my Patreon page and see if you can help out that way as well. And if you have any questions about this, please leave them in the links below. Thanks guys, and have a great day.